Bye.
Yay. All right. Bye. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Hello, everyone. I am live today. All right. I'm having some technical difficulties, but hopefully this is working and we will get this figured out. All right. This is my second live stream. I'm so excited. So today I want to share some keys that helped me get out of survival mode. So I have a huge list of these, but I just want to talk about some today. And for me, this really was learning how to be activated. And so what do I mean by this? So activated means to me that when you go to college and things, you're out of the house, no one's coming to check on you, right? No one's coming to check and make sure you're going to make it to class on time or make it to work on time, right? You have to be self-activated. And essentially, you've got to do it on your own. And I know at different points in my life, I have struggled with this. But this really was important when I had those key events that threw me back into survival mode. So I'm going to talk about 4. So the first one is I had to learn how to activate my getting things done side, even when I didn't feel like it. So this was really important. One thing that I found was a way that I could do this was essentially to numb myself from the neck down, right? Like not check in on how I'm feeling about it, not, looking to see if the weather's, great and is that uplifting my mood. And so that's getting me motivated, but essentially self-motivating myself. And different times I have to do this, right? In school, with a job, even traveling, right? When I'm traveling, at one point I traveled with my sister to Europe, and you have to be able to catch a train, right? It's about time management. It's about getting things done, staying on track, moving. So the ability to push through, even when I didn't feel like it. So that was number 1. Number 2 was I had to learn how to activate systems and routines. And rituals could also be included in this. I'm going to do a video on rituals. There's actually science behind how rituals can help you in your life. And I'm so excited to be talking about this. It's really cool and fun. So activating systems and routines. So this can be for, the planner, those who are planners, those who are organizers, but coming up with systems also for creatives. I worked with a girl, she was a social media expert, super great at creativity. So one of her systems was on her desktop. She had files everywhere. Like if you looked at her computer, it looks like there was an explosion of files. I'm not kidding. But for her, it was a system and she knew where everything was. That creative mind that's kind of, everywhere and experimenting and, thinking outside of the box and visions and things like that. So actually not having organized folders helped her more. It was her system. It was her routine. So don't think that systems or routines are just for, those people that, plan or organize. It's for everybody. And finding a system and routine that's going to work for you and how you work, and how you play and do things. So, oh, hi, the Fun Fab Life. Hi. She says, yes, I agree. Know what works for you. Absolutely. Because I feel like a lot of people, especially women, just throw it out if it comes to, okay, you need to be on a strict schedule or things like that. I'm not talking about a strict schedule. A strict schedule may work for you. That might be your vibe. That might be how you activate yourself. But for others, it's going to look differently. So that's the good news. So, yeah, and bringing in systems and routines, it's really to have a place for some structure. So then if you have, I found if I had that structure and just kind of the what do you call it, the scaffolding almost, when someone's building something, if you have the basic scaffolding, or then you have room to have flow within that structure. So also having systems and routines is a great way to eliminate or minimize decision fatigue. So different areas in my life where I put in structures and routines that I loved. One was self-care. Two was fitness, having a fitness schedule and routine for myself. Having a system for getting things organized, or just keeping up with a home, right? Or an apartment. Mina Irfan calls this life holding activities. And I love that. I've actually adopted it and brought it into our home. So having life holding activities, systems, and routines around that. Meal planning, wardrobe. One of the things I loved is I love Jennifer L. Scott's 10-item wardrobe. This was more of a feminine way that helped me minimize the number of options of clothes that I had, and making sure that I had pieces that go together, right? So you've heard of Steve Jobs, where he has that the uniform, the black turtleneck with the jeans, and essentially he wore that every day. So that was his way to create a system and a routine to eliminate or minimize decision fatigue. And I feel like this is so important, ladies, for us as women to find fun ways to also bring these kinds of systems into our life, but in a way that's going to work for us. So it's the 10-item wardrobe is my Steve Jobs version of having a system. So those are just some examples. So that's number 2. Number 3 is I had to learn how to activate healthy boundaries in survival mode. So learning how to say no. This could be me learning how to say a direct no, and just, no, that doesn't work for me, but with a smile, right? But firm. I'm not going to move, and no, that doesn't work for me. Or no, I can't do that right now. So yeah, different versions of learning how to say no that this looked like for me was saying it directly, learning how to say a gracious no, and also learning scripts. So as a child, I was actually very quiet. I am more of an introvert / ambivert. And so a lot of times I would go along with what other people were doing, right? I was kind of the go with the flow girl. If someone had an idea, I'm like, sure, let's do it, or let's go do this. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. So this can help us, being adaptable can help us in life. There is a reason for this, and I'm going to talk about it in just a minute. But this can also get us in trouble. And when I was in survival mode, not activating my healthy boundaries and not activating the ability that if I was not able to do something, being able to say no, this could catch up with me. And a lot of times it wasn't even other people's fault. It's just, I wanted to help out, right? But this was very important that I had to learn how to activate healthy boundaries in order to get myself to a better place. And I'll actually link a playlist. I have several videos on healthy boundaries, and I have different levels that I went through that I learned. So that might be interesting to you if that's calling to you. So yes. So we are, like I said, we are more adaptable as women. We are getting pumped with more estrogen compared to men. And this is just something to keep in mind. And this is in general. Um, so, because we are getting pumped with more estrogen, that is the connecting hormone and chemical, right? From a biology standpoint. So, as we are, you know, getting initiated to connect with people, that allows us to be more susceptible to being more adaptable. And we have a strong desire for validation. Um, they also call this to please and appease. So, keeping this in mind when you are putting and activating healthy boundaries. So, number four, I had to learn how to activate my voice. And this kind of ties in with the healthy boundaries. Um, and when I started doing this, guys, really started working on it, I was in a relationship, and it was kind of funny because, to be honest, it was messy and I was so wobbly at it because I was not used to using my voice. Like I said, I was more of the go with the flow girl. Um, I was the one that wanted to help out. I was the one, hey, yeah, let's go try something. So when I started using this and experimenting with it, I started in my relationship. And my husband, I remember he paused one time when I came back with a no, and he said, you're being more assertive. And I was like, well, I'm trying to learn how to do this because I'm out of, I don't have a lot of practice with it. So it was kind of funny to watch me go through that. But yeah, guys, I was so messy and wobbly when I started to use my voice and starting to, share what worked for me and what didn't work for me, or what I was interested in, or what I was no longer interested in, or what I was available for, or what I was no longer available for. So all of these were very important in getting that activation. So let's see what you guys are saying. So the Fun Fab Life says, exactly, this is run. Yeah, this will run your life, the operation side. Absolutely. When that gets in overdrive, especially as women, we can burn out. Helps me create space for more creative or change your life activities. Yes. I'm a go with the flow type person too. Okay, so you feel me. You know what I'm talking about. And that can be a great quality. But when big life events happen, or life-changing things that are life-changing, that you now have to switch into a different mode, and that can throw you into survival mode, it is not going to serve us. It just isn't. At least that's what I found for me. So let me see. I have just a couple notes, so I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Let's see. Yes. So really all of these four activations are, it's an activated way. It's more of a leaning in. It's more of, looking at time and getting somewhere, and things like that, versus, so that's the leaning in, where the feminine activation is more leaning back. And I am so excited to be talking about my journey on this more. And my version, so, helping myself get out of survival mode. And some things, guys, I just couldn't lean on other people. Some of these pieces I had to do for myself. And so I really had to take a deep dive and check in with my body and where I was at, my environment, things like that. And I had to ask myself, does this still work for me? Right. And some of the stuff I couldn't, go to my husband or my friends because I was becoming a different person, or I needed different things at this new level. And so that was very important, learning how to check in with myself and ask myself, is this true for me now? So yeah, so the activated way is leaning in, the feminine activation is leaning back. So my version of feminine energy, and because we're going to be, so let me go back to the point I was trying to make. So the point I was trying to make was sometimes that happens. That's how my brain works. So before I could move in and start to learn and hear about feminine energy, I realized I had to get myself out of survival mode first. I was not ready to receive the information about feminine energy. I was not ready. I had not gotten myself to a place having that structure first before I could access the flow. And this was super, super important. So if you are on your journey or you're going through big life events, see if this is true for you, because this was very true for me. I couldn't go there. I couldn't get to the point where I could lean back when I was still in survival mode. And this took activating myself. So now that I activated myself and I got myself out of survival mode, my version of feminine energy was a woman who can both use and honor both her structure and flow. A woman who can use and tap into and honor her riverbed and her river flow. A woman who can use and honor both masculine energy within herself and feminine energy within herself. And so she has learned the skill sets of first activating herself. And this is about time, achievements, results, getting things done, going somewhere, getting her basics covered. This could be getting your basics covered just purely on your own, or maybe in a relationship as well. But knowing that you can do it, even if that person walks away, that you can stand on your own 2 feet, you have the skills, you have the activation, and you are safe in that way. You're covered. So really that masculine side. And she understands both. And when I first started learning about feminine energy, like I said, I wasn't ready. I hadn't fully gotten through myself through the survival mode, through all of these activations that I talked about. And so I just wasn't ready. So if you're not ready, I totally get it. But getting myself to this point, I finally could hear what other women were trying to share with me about feminine energy. So if you are a kind-hearted person, you're a person who is, always trying to do your best. Sometimes that's a level 8, 1 out of 10, maybe your best is a 2, but you're always trying your best. You care about other people. You actually, you want to help other people. You've built yourself up, but now you're burnt out. You're feeling tired. You are overdoing. You're over giving. You're falling into people pleasing, right? Again, remember, we have more estrogen, so that connecting piece that is, running through our body. So it is driving us to be more, connecting, which can fall into people pleasing. So if you are all of these things and you're going through the burnout and you are now ready to look at different ways of being and different ways of doing things, I am so excited, and the fun is now about to begin. So stay tuned for some future videos, and we will be talking more about these fun topics. So let's see. All right. And happy Friday, everyone. So, I need to practice activating my voice, especially with my family. This is a big one because I feel like as women, we do have that, um, you know, tendency for wanting to help others. And ladies, at the end of the day, we do seek out validation. That is how we are naturally wired. Of course, there's going to be variations, but what does this look like? This looks like wanting to, like they call please and appease. You want to be helpful, you want to support your family. It's kind of that mother energy as well, being nurturing. Making magic happen when it seems like, problems are popping up all over the place. How can you still make magic happen? I feel like so many of us are, sometimes overdoing and overgiving, trying to make that happen. I'm a pushover for them. Yep. Oh my gosh. And I still fall into this. So I'm working on this as well. Still working on it. LOL. Yes. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And it's actually going to be the full moon tomorrow. So if you are feeling off or, feeling, I don't know, in a different way, just remember there is that gravitational pull. And so, yeah, I'm excited about the full moon tomorrow. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope these were helpful. Um, Again, I'll repeat them. So, one is activate my getting things done side. Uh, Two, activate systems and routines, even if you're creative. Three, activate my healthy boundaries. And four, activating my voice. All right. Okay. I'll catch everyone in the next one. Bye.